What's going on, traders? We're ready to get into the market. The only question is, will we get a positive day today or a red day? We're up at the resistance. It just leaked a little bit on retail. Will we see a little bit of a turnaround? Find out live trading right here.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore,
All right.
that phrase.
My video does not want to play today. I know what's going on here. But alrighty there. I don't know what the hell is going on.
What happened is the intro played.
Dude, I'm not seeing anything on my side.
Okay, well, the intro played, you're all good. So, good morning, everyone.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
You good?
Tricks. No, my computer, my Chrome is just completely destroyed.
Do you want me to welcome everybody and you go fix it and jump back?
Yeah, just go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, I'll kick off the show here. Nick,
You
you're
can
ready,
throw me
right?
in the background if you want.
I'm putting Mitch to the back. All right, folks. So happy Tuesday. We're going to get started off with some technical difficulties here. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to live trading. I don't have anything witty lined up like Mitch normally does, nor do I have a song prepared for you. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and jump right into what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Moomoo account today because just about 5 minutes ago, I took a new swing trade. I'm looking for cooler to break through this dollar mark. We are long 200 shares in the pre-market here, looking to close this out today. So this would probably be a day trade unless this thing just absolutely goes on a monster run and I have a whole lot of profit built up. I'm closing this trade here today. So long some cooler, average price of 97 cents in the pre-market, looking for a one break and then hopefully some type of run in the Moomoo account. When Mitch gets back, I will force him to play the Moo sound drop. That much I can promise you. Now I'm going to go ahead and run through some of my stocks. Then I'm going to bring Nick on. Nick, I'm going to have you go through the news here while we're waiting for Mitch. Let me just run down a couple of stocks real quick. If my bird starts going absolutely buck wild, I'm just going to turn it over to you and mute myself. First things first here, taking a look at the SPY, and let me get back to this tab that I'm showing. So we're seeing a little weakness in the broader market here today. The current candle formation on the SPY kind of looks like maybe we are running into a short-term top, so maybe we do roll over here. Again, I'm still on the SQQQ in my main account, waiting for some type of pullback or plunge here in technology so that I can close that trade. I'm down on that trade. My average price is $17.44. May add here out of the gate, stop probably somewhere short under 17. I would look for this to set up. I do think that we're going to have a pull at some point, but I have not done a good job telegraphing those moves. So what I'm going to do is if I don't get the move that I'm expecting or wanting here today, or positioned for, I should say, here today, we'll probably cut and wait for it to set up again. But that the die has not been cast, as they say, for that one yet. So we'll see what happens when the market actually opens up here. Now, as far as some of the smaller stocks, we do have a lot going on here today. First one I'm going to go ahead and mention here is going to be KPTI. Crow said this is his main watch here today. KPTI does have a catalyst here. Karyopharm shares are trading higher for the company received FDA fast track designation for selinexor for myelofibrosis. So looking at the chart here, we did carve out a nice range all the way up to 210. We're right under the VWAP here at 188. I'd really like to see expanding volume through this VWAP. That would give us a long side trigger here. First spot there going to be 210. So we'll see if we end up getting that one. Next on the list is going to be BPTS. Let me go ahead and fix my other stuff that I've got going on here. I don't think that's the right one. I'm sorry, folks. All right, there we go. Now, next here is going to be BPTS. This is also popping. We actually popped above 4 here in the pre-market. We've really kind of come back in. We're actually leaking away from the VWAP. So you can see we actually sold down to a pre-market support level here. Going to be very interesting right out of the open if we keep this level or if we break this level. If we keep this level, perhaps a move back to the VWAP is the next potential trade. If we then pop through that VWAP, that could turn into quite a nice trade. So that's on the BPTS. Bravo Papa Tango Sandy. Next here is going to be mixed. This is MICS. We actually already had a nice little high range break here in the pre-market. Win as high as 240. We're back down at the VWAP. We do have a catalyst. Singing Machine shares are trading higher after the company announced it launched a new party accessory product line available in Walmart. So it looks like one of their products now available in Walmart. They're anticipating higher sales, I would guess. Stock prices reflecting that here today. Next, we've got GNPX. We've actually traded this one before, or at minimum, we've seen this on the scanner, and we've seen some opening pops and gaps here. This popped all the way up to 110, came back in towards 95. We've now crossed back through 1. So we'll see if we can actually push away from the VWAP and take out this pre-market high on GNPX. Did we have news on GNPX? Yes, exclusive license to additional diabetes technology with the University of Pittsburgh. So getting a nice PR under that, driving it. Next here is going to be TDoc. TDoc has a PR this morning. Teladoc Health expands collaboration with AI, or collaboration in AI with Microsoft to address healthcare workforce crisis. I'll give you one idea how this stock is trading here today. That is vertical. We popped as high as 26.87, came back in towards the VWAP, consolidated a little bit above it, and now we're taking the next leg up. One of the things I'd really like to see here on TDoc to make this trade a little bit less gambly is to see this come into a support level, whether that be the prior range or the VWAP. We'll see which one materializes here. TDoc definitely on watch here today. A couple more worth mentioning here. Sun W, this actually had a great day yesterday. There was no real pop here, and the expanding volume came after we got off the show, but this stock pretty much grinded higher all day yesterday. We popped a little bit here in the pre-market. For me, the next spot here is going to be 218 on Sun W. First thing we need to do is recross that VWAP. HCTI, I'm just going to start calling HCTI the Smoke Tuna Special, because Smoke Tuna has been on this for pretty much all of the moves. We're popping here again. We'll see if we can move through the VWAP. 537, 581, and then 665 going to be your levels here on HCTI. So let's hope that one can get rolling here again today. We did have Charles Schwab up. I'm sure Nick's going to cover it here with some of the banks. I'm just going to leave that for him. Palantir was up here today as well. Palantir had a news item this morning. Bloodhound Enterprise from Spectre Ops available to government agencies through Palantir's Fed Start offering. So got another PR there driving Palantir, excuse me. I see Bank of America on the list here, but instead of diving into that, I'm just going to turn this over to Nick. Nick, what visual aid can I provide for you?
I was going to say, if you could throw up, we're going to start with Bank of America. If you could throw that chart up. Bank of America topped analyst expectations amid higher interest rates. Earnings came in at 88 cents a share. Estimate was for 84 cents. Revenue came in at $25.33 billion, ahead of expectations of $25.05 billion. In the release, Chair and CEO Brian Moynihan says, quote, "We continue to see a healthy U.S. economy that is growing at a slower pace with a resilient job market. All businesses performed well, and we saw improved market shares, particularly in our sales and trading and investment banking business." He was on a media call earlier, just basically saying that the economy is healthy and basically reiterating what he has been saying for the past months, that economy is doing well, business is doing well, nothing out of the ordinary. If you could throw up Morgan Stanley, that'd be great. Morgan Stanley also reported earnings this morning. Adjusted EPS came in at $1.24. Estimate was for $1.20. Revenue came in above expectations, $13.46 billion. Estimate was for $13.11 billion. And going through the numbers, Ryan, I went but below the surface, got some wealth management, equity sales, and trading revenue. So wealth management came in for their net rev came in at $6.66 billion. Estimate was for $6.5 billion. Equity sales and trading revenue came in at $2.5 billion. Estimate was for $2.38 billion. Non-interest expenses, came in at $10.4 billion. Estimate was for $10.14 billion. Net interest income, $2 billion. Estimate was for $2.2 billion. and the FICC sales and trading rev came in at 1.72 billion. Estimate was for 1.97 billion. It's always interesting to hear what Morgan Stanley does. You have to always go beneath the surface for them to see what the equities and sales was, the FICC sales and trading rev, just because they're more of that hardcore business. And so we're going to get Goldman tomorrow, and it will be very interesting to hear how their quarter does. Do they raise the guidance? What CEO is saying? And so we'll have to see. But if you could turn, we have more bank earnings as they just rolled on this morning. Bank of New York Mellon, if you could throw that chart up. Q2 23 earnings come in. Adjusted EPS of $1.38. Estimate was for $1.20.
Sorry, what's the ticker on that? I don't have all these bank tickers memorized. I'm sorry, man.
BK.
There you go.
I was going to say BK adjusted EPS $1.38. Estimate was for $1.22. Revenue $4.45 billion. Estimate was for $4.38 billion. Net loans $64.28 billion. Estimate was for $63.03 billion. Total deposits $292.05 billion. Estimate was for $278.77 billion. AUM $1.91 trillion. Estimate was for $1.95 trillion. And assets under administration $46.9 trillion. Estimate was for $47.09 trillion. If you could turn to PNC, ticker PNC.
Sure. And real quick here, 13 saying banks reporting big increases to their credit loss provisions. Defaults are coming and they know it.
Yes.
That's something I've been waiting for a while. Here's your PNC chart, Nick.
I was going to say, okay, just rolling on with earnings. EPS came in at $3.36. Estimate was for around $3.28. Some expectations was for $3.30, $3.27. So it's in the range there. Revenue came in at $5.30 billion, falling below estimates of $5.46 billion. Loans came in at $321.76 billion. Estimate was for $327.3 billion, and they approved a 5-cent increase to quarterly dividend. What else do we have? Charles Schwab, ticker SCHW. If you can throw that chart up. EPS came in at 75 cents, better than expectations of 71 cents. Revenue came in at $4.66 billion. Estimate was for $4.62 billion, so better than expectations. Net interest revenue $2.29 billion. Estimate was for $2.28 billion. Bank deposits $304.4 billion. Estimate was for $298.37 billion. Total net new assets $72 billion. Estimate was for $77.78 billion. And daily average trades 5.27 million. Estimate was for 5.24 million. And to end
Schwab
it off,
just pounding the highs here, Nick. As you're reading that, Schwab continues to push the highs.
I was
really
going to say we got a headline about 30 minutes ago that they see 2023 revenue to decline by 7 to 8% year over year. I'm going to have to go back into the conference call, see what's going on, check the wires. I don't know if we got anything else, but no, I do see that chart. They are carrying higher. It's going to be very interesting. As you say, we are waiting for regionals. Like I think we got Synchrony Financial this morning, but we're waiting for a lot of the regional banks to report to see how the with the different First Republic and SVB, how that started. But if you could throw up, we have one more earnings to get to. Lockheed Martin, LMT. Adjusted EPS $6.73. Estimate was for $6.43. Revenue came in at $16.69 billion. Estimate was for $15.89 billion. They did raise the full year sales and EPS outlook for 2023. They see full year net sales $66.25 billion to $66.75 billion. Estimate was for $65.84 billion, and they see full year EPS $27 to $27.20. They previously saw $26.60 to $26.90. So overall, a recap of this morning, a beat on the top and bottom line and on a lot of these companies, and raising full year sales on Lockheed in the F-35 jet cells. So we're going to have to see if that sector outperforms and how Lockheed and other competitors do. But banks tomorrow, we get Tesla, Netflix, IBM, Goldman, a lot more ahead for tomorrow.
All right. How we
Mitch,
doing?
you got anything you want to go over before we open up here? Less than a minute.
I got you, my friend. I'll just go at least talk about the swing trades that I have. Let me go ahead and bring that up here. And so you guys see DE is one that I've had for a while now. It's up at 420s. I've had this since 401. I'm up almost 5% on this name. eBay, I'm probably selling it today. If it can get a little bit more push, I'm up 1% on this name. This was more for the rebalance play, but didn't really get the most lift there. PLD, one that I got yesterday, already up about 15 bucks, about 1% on this name. I got it at 128.30s. Right now it's almost at 130s. We'll see how it opens up here. If it can get to 133s, 134s, wouldn't be too bad there for PLD. And this is a REIT that I went after. LAC back into the green now. Going to look for this to continue going. I got this at 20.93. I think this could really get a nice little move. And Hilton is another one that I got. We'll see what happens here. Bell's rung. Let's see what we can get into. Let's see what stocks we can find here at the open. All right, one to keep an eye out for. I'm going to be watching AMD to see if that can go higher. That's one of the good ones. Micron is another one to kind of keep an eye out for. Maybe a red to green move today. I think today we might be able to get a little bit of a pullback action here just because I feel like we have been strong and everyone's starting to lean to the bull side. Could just do a little bit of a pullback to the 9 EMA. We'll see what happens.
Pullback would be great for me. I'm long SQQQ, so any move down would be great. First move here out of the open on Cooler is down just a couple of cents. No big deal right there. Mix looks like that's coming off the recent high that it did. So it looks like that high was 239 on MICS.
I was going to say, guys, if you're in the chat, join Happy Hour yesterday. I joined Happy Hour yesterday. It was a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, it's really good stuff there.
You know, the community was just, it was a really good discussion. I didn't talk much just because I had a lot going on here, but Ryan, and there were so many other people just giving insights. If you have Benzinga Pro, I recommend go check it out.
I appreciate that, Nick. And that's how it is, especially for newer people at the beginning. They don't necessarily want to interrupt the flow, but the more you get into it, you'll realize, and that, again, it's all participation from the group.
And he doesn't take attendance, so if you're late, okay.
That's right. Real quickly here, I did want to shout something out that happened yesterday. There might still be some meat on the bone, if you will. Zunaid actually called out a unusual trade in Snap, an unusual option trade in Snap right in here. Okay, so you can see there was extreme call buying. Snap ran the rest of the day. I actually day traded the calls, just simply flipped the premium, 115 to 130. Just didn't even take me all that long. I was in it for just a couple of minutes. So Zunaid still has the eye for some of those unusual options. Figured I'd shout him out here. Snap yesterday. Remember, Snap reports earnings a week from today. So maybe that was an earnings bet. We shall see. SQQQ, by the way, this has been strong right out of the gate. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Mix pulling back here a little bit, and Cooler still hanging out at that 94 cents.
Tesla going down fast here, and Apple also down in the red, Microsoft in the red. So it looks like we're pulling back here just to start the day. Google's probably the stronger one out of the bigger boys. We'll see what happens here as we start to pull back. And I think we could get a little bit of a pullback. Snap pulling back there also. I think this one could go right back towards 13 today. Then maybe try to catch the lift there. Same thing for like Pinterest is pulling back right now. That just shows me more and more. This one's a little bit more bullish. It did get a nice little lift at the gates. We'll see if it's able to hold on this 30-20 pullback, get back up there to 30.75. If it's back below 30s, be careful. You could get an attempt back towards 29.50.
INOD moving here out of the gate. Hang on a sec. God
damn. Save the birds. Save the birds.
I was going to say, Mitch, did you catch the Chipotle announcement this morning that they?
Yes, I did.
They signed an agreement with a Kuwait-based Malaysia group. Its first ever franchise partner to open locations in the Middle East next year. It doesn't matter because I still haven't had Chipotle yet. So if anyone wants to send me Chipotle, please do.
Send my boy some Chipotle.
I prefer Chick-fil-A.
Ooh, I like Chick-fil-A. I can't go wrong with a chicken sandwich. Can't go wrong with a chicken sandwich. They're trying to give it to me. They're trying to give it to me. I like X today, guys. What are you guys thinking? X trying to give it to me today? All right, let's start getting into this X. I'll try to size in and then just start getting in. I just grabbed a little bit there. I'm going to look for a little bit of a pullback back towards 2460s to get a little bit longer here on X. Just want to see this start to push back towards 25. That's really the level that I'm thinking about here. So I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback and then a move back higher here. We'll see what happens. On that PLD, I just got hit on that one. It was in the green there for a second there. It just went red really quickly there. So I would have the brand to the profit. So swing trade loss there. I don't get too many of those, but hey, one thing's for certain is taking the risk and controlling it. We'll see if Hilton goes up today. I could get out on Hilton. There's X a little bit higher already, so that doesn't look too bad for me. I have 75s. It's in there to 77s. I'm looking for a quick little pullback here, but if it just wants to take off to 25, I ain't going to be mad. And of course, we're going to be singing today, baby. It's one of those days. We got to keep it going. It's been a while since I've been able to play this sound, right? Come on, man. Oh, I got to get it up again, connected.
Oh my God. We are all sorts of struggle bus today, folks.
Struggle bus is on.
By the way, mixed big pullback from rejected trying to take out that high at 240. VUZI, interesting here on a possible 6 break. That's ticker VUZI. SQQQ continuing to climb here, so that's working out.
Well, at least X is giving it to me.
Give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
Knock, 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 knock. X. Let's go. Let's get through 25 here. We're up there to 85s now. Can we get through the 2490s? That's the next spot. And then I could see a little bit of a pullback. We'll see if we do get that pullback. I don't mind selling it if it just pops through 25 here. Because 25, I mean, that's a nice little 25-cent gain right out the gates here. We'll see if we get that. Up there, getting almost into the 90s here. Let's see if we can get it up there. Just trying to start a nice trade out the gates here and then maybe see if we can just keep rinsing and repeating today. Basic materials definitely on my eyes today. Of course, I'm trading LAC also. That one is a swing trade for me right now, but it also looked good there for the day trade there off the 21s. Big thing for me would be seeing MP there go higher. MP goes higher. I think that one has a good look. PLL looks good. Here's X into the 91s. I'm putting out an order here into the 98s here. 24.98. If I get just a little bit of a pop here, I could sell out, take that nice little gain to start the day. 92s, 94s here. 95s. Let's see if I can get just this little pop here. You know what? I don't mind just taking a nice little win here out the gates here. I'm just taking that win right there because I think it's going to pull back here towards the VWAP. And then I'm going to try to get back into it around 24.65. Just took the cash there. Not a bad little $40, to little cushion to start the day. Let's keep going. Let's see if I can get this pullback right back to the VWAP and then get right back in the name. Why did I sell it? Because I bought it on the rip versus buying it at VWAP. If I bought it at VWAP, I'd probably hold there because it would come back above my entry. And if I always see that the stock could come back below my entry, sometimes I just want to take that money and run. Nice little trade to start the day. Mitch, your MRO, yes, MRO is up higher. And of course, you know where that is, guys. That's all on the Moo account, of course. And the swing trade game, I'm starting to actually do a little bit better on the swing trade for Moo, guys. And I think that that's the important thing that I'm changing up a little bit here. So you guys can see it. I'm up a pretty good amount now, $5 on the name for MRO. Of course, wins here on this account are easily like kind of 12, 15 to 20. So I'm going to try to just grind this higher. Of course, I could try to even get a little bit more of MRO, but I have 24s. It's at 24.25. I like that move today in MRO.
EVTL here popping on volume. I actually didn't have this kind of planned out, but looks like we're trading up to the pre-market high from July 14th. High spot there, 198. Maybe a 2 run here if EVTL keeps going.
Oh, man, I cannot wait to do some new changes, guys. I've been working in the background, working my ass off on the making improvements for you guys out there. So definitely smash a like. One of the biggest things that I'm going to be working on is a lot of kind of bringing you guys some new kind of graphics, trying to bring us to the next level.
No milk carton, right?
No milk carton. By
No,
the way,
we're
Nicola,
talking
this was
better than the milks.
Nicola, big move here out of the open again. I know we talked about this. We can't believe it's still a stock, but Nicola moving here out of the gate. Looks like some more sweeps there. No position here on Nicola. Not for me anyway. Mix going back towards that high. We'll see if it takes that high out. BPTS looked like it was starting to curl here, but doesn't have the expanding volume and the strength. In fact, the volume sticks have just kind of dried up. Vuzi pulled back off that 6 spot as well. GOEV pulling back after that run right out of the gate.
All right, guys, looking to see if I can now start getting some pullback action and start trying to get into some names. I'm going to definitely take a look into the market here and see what we're seeing here. MRO, we'll look to see if that can go higher on the day. Of course, I have that in the Moo account. Let's go to the market overall. SPY going higher. Financial services kind of getting the lift right now. Bank of America. Let's go to the smaller names. How are the regionals, baby? Regionals. That's a nice alert there, guys. That's a big move there for regionals. Look at the KREs, another way you guys can look at it. WAL is one that I'd be looking at. That one loves to make a big move there. It's up there now to 42.76, so definitely a big move probably on the FAS. That doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens. Financial services definitely having a good day today. Communication services, energy leading the way here also. Communication services getting a little bit of a bounce. Verizon getting a bounce after getting destroyed yesterday. AT&T, T-Mobile also getting a little bit of a bounce today after getting pullback yesterday. Basic materials up higher. Every sector in the green there. And so I'm keeping an eye out on names there. Lumber and wood production, I've talked about that going well. Now you got agricultural inputs going off. MOS, CF, and NTR. These are all names that are looking really well today. Coal going higher. Steel, we talked about X there. X continuing right now at almost 25. Hasn't pulled back to the VWAP. I'm looking for pullbacks, but definitely a strong day there. Money Mitch letting go of WTI for his MRO trade. Yes, I let it go. It can go right back up, Sydney. I'm actually looking to play more oil plays here today. XOM maybe to the upside on pullbacks. We'll see what happens there. Chevron's another one that I had yesterday, remember? And yesterday I got stopped out, and then it went right back up higher to 154. We'll see if Chevron starts to turn around. That's it for me right now.
MICS is going here. Smoke Tuna gave this to you, said that this might be the last stop. 235, that first spot. 243, the next one. That's your pre-market high. We'll see on MICS. Long this at 234. There we go. There we go. MICS. Let's get one more push up there. There it is. 250 going to be your next spot there on MICS. Let's see if we can push up.
I like CCJ. I was talking about CCJ yesterday, so not a bad look there. Right off the VWAP today, 31.68. Doesn't look bad there on CCJ. I'd have to risk off like 31.65 or 31.60 here.
God, that is awful. Humongous pullback. Folks, don't forget, when you have profit, don't forget to take them. I was waiting for another test at 250 there. They yanked it right back on me here. Volume still looks good. We'll see if it comes back up.
Yeah, Palantir coming right back down there into the below the 1725. Into the 17s. That's where I liked it. I talked about that in the pre-market. It just went to 1719. So if it can come to 1725 here, maybe I could look for reversals off the bottom there. Doesn't look too bad, but we are getting that pullback type of day. And the Qs are going lower. Steel Dynamics giving me alert today. I've been waiting for this one to really start moving for a swing trade. So I'm going to buy a good amount of Steel Dynamics here in the 108s. I wanted to get 108 exactly, but I will take their 108.10s. And I'm already down 10 cents. So just to give you guys the outlook, this is a swing trade. So I don't stress about 10 cents there. But now going to look for Steel Dynamics to really take off on the daily and push right back towards the upside. I think we could even come up here into the 120s and then eventually 130s. So that's why I like this trade here. This is a nice trade off of kind of the 105 level. I can risk off of 106 if I want to be a little bit tighter, but I don't mind even risking 3 points if I'm looking for an outlook that could go like, 8 points higher and then maybe up there into what? That's 8 point higher into 116, but 120s, that's a nice 12 point higher. 130s, that's a nice 22 points higher. We'll see what happens there. CCJ also looking great today. We'll see what happens there.
Real quick, Jay calling this out. Transport's ripping, FDX up 9, rails are strong, big rotation into value. I'm assuming you mean out of tech there. By the way, MICS here on that pulse trying to come back on. I added down here, so I'm going to have a tight stop if we reach that day low right there. Just waiting for this to kind of shoot back up. 224 going to be your VWAP. That will be the first mile marker to cross here on MICS.
Yeah, just to play off of what Jay's saying there, yesterday I missed the buy by just a second there in XLI at the 108.50s. It's now up there to 109.72, but this makes me feel good about what trade? About my Deer trade, of course. That's going higher. That's pushing towards the upside. 425s now. I'm up 24 points on the name. It's looking well. Cat going higher today. And I like Lockheed Martin to maybe catch the pullback and maybe another rip higher. This one doesn't look too bad today. It did have earnings, already has popped a good amount. We'll see if it gets the lift. Boom, boom, boom. It's a fun day today, guys. We got some nice action out the gates. Now I'm going to look for those pullbacks. Qs coming back to the VWAP. We'll see what happens there. Bigger stocks dragging, NVIDIA dragging down, TSM dragging, AMD dragging. So definitely the tech names are getting that pullback. And this is okay. I mean, I looked at the SPY overall, and then seeing the SPY up today is one of those things that just shows us how strong of a bull market we're in and how much of a bubble environment we're in, because the rotation is wicked. Like today, tech dragging down, but it doesn't matter. We're still finding a way to get the SPY higher.
Had to take Mix off there at 215 on the plunge. Mix just didn't work here out of the gate. Might not be done, especially if it bottoms, but I can't wait it out, especially with the ad. Mix, that was just a nasty move from that break higher. Should have definitely sold that break. I say that all the time. A lot of the times when we get some of these trades that end up working, I take the gains and I just take the trade off. Then it goes higher and it's like, oh, Ryan, why didn't you hang on to that? Definitely hanging on to Mix higher here. Did not do it. Just a nasty knife right back in your face. Rough trade, but we are on to the next. Thankfully, SQQQ working here.
All right,
Mix, that
here going
so
higher,
dirty.
man.
That was so dirty.
LAC, I talked about it earlier that I talked to, like, it was an interesting trade there. That's my swing trade. I already have a swing on that. I do want to get some pullback now. If it does come back there towards 2130s or 2125, I wouldn't mind playing a VWAP bounce type of play on this. It's already going higher, though. There you go. That's what I wanted to see today. Looking good on the daily, too. I love stocks that look really good on dailies and now start to look good for swing traders, for investors, and the day traders today as they see that first move higher. We'll see what happens, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going here. Smash the like button out there, team.
It's another day, another NVIDIA price target upgrade. This is over BFA.
And what did they say in this one? I saw some crazy talk in the note there.
They go from 500 to 550, and they say the company remains a top pick, reiterates the buy. In the note, they say, quote, the next few quarters could see greater dispersion among chip stocks based on real versus overstated perceived AI benefits. One, within accelerators, NVIDIA can hold its dominant 75 to 80 plus share.
All right, CCJ now starting to look like it's starting to try to get that up move through the 3170s. It just did a little bit of an attempt there to 3160s. I like that outlook now. It could hold off that 3160s, about 10-cent risk here for a move higher into the 3180s. I think this could get to 32s. So you're talking about 10 cents for about a 30-cent gain there. Doesn't look too bad. I don't mind the action and the risk here. I'll take a little bit of a shot there. Just got long there at 31.72s. Going to look for that push, about 30 cents risk, about 12 cents risk there, and 30 cents on the reward side. We'll see if we get it.
Just looking around here, folks.
I'm also looking for that X pullback. It's starting to pull back. It's holding the 90s, though. I need it to come back there towards VWAP. That's what I'm looking for. That's a nice little retrace below the 2480s. I'd actually look for it retraced in the 2470s here, and we'll see if we get it. CCJ already starting to move higher. We'll see if that can lift off through the 3180s and the 32s. Starting to look good already.
QBTS had a nice move here. I was taking a look at Rigetti and Sympathy. This is one I got from one of the other traders that I follow. Well, the relationship is what I got from them. Rigetti here, 210 looks to be the spot on Rigetti.
Thinking about taking a swing trade on Valley. I know people sometimes like that stock, so that's why I'm mentioning it there. You guys can take your own look, right? But I do like the trade there off the 14s. So this just come off this bottom, come right back up here towards this uptrend, where it's come back in the past above 17. So I'm looking about a $3 upside action for maybe an 11-cent risk. Doesn't seem too bad for me, right? These are the type of swing trades that I like, guys. So it doesn't look bad at all, especially on the daily. The only thing you might have to give yourself room to 1380. So maybe you give yourself 30 cents risk, but doesn't look too bad there. I like the outlook there. We'll see if Vale gets going. Of course, that's also in the same space as CCJ, same space as LAC. Industrial metals and minerals are something I'm looking at today, and you guys can see a clear theme. We'll see if this starts to push. Daily chart looks good. Also, this is the industry daily chart, and you can see how this has made a lift recently, pulled back, now holding that trend. I want to see this take off today and go higher.
Snap coming in from yesterday. So after those huge call buys yesterday, looks like Snap pulling back here today. Again,
Did you get to 13 yet?
What's that?
I called it 13 earlier, like when it was at 13.
It's almost there, only 20 cents away here on Snap.
Yep. I thought that pull back right to 13s, and then it could catch the buys right there. Same thing. I feel like Pinterest could pull back fast.
Qs are weak, by the way. So this is playing into this Pinterest Snap trade, but this is great for the SQQQ trade. So I'll take it.
I was going to say, Evercore ISI goes for Pinterest. They upgrade Pinterest to outperform from market perform, and they say, first, we see clear evidence of digital ad spend stabilizing as we move further away from the trough levels of late 22 with increasing tentative evidence of an H2 recovery. I think they went with Pinterest. I think they went with a number of names after the bell yesterday.
All right, bigger names still weak here. NVIDIA still weak. I'm looking to see if the Qs could recover back above 380s, 50s. But if it doesn't recover that, I think we're going to keep knocking on the downside. Doesn't mean we're going to just could destroy tech today, but definitely you're going to see some downside pullbacks. Amazon going lower there, and just seems like the big boys are dragging today. So be careful. See if some big boys start to move. CCJ with a nice little move. The 3190s already almost to that 32 target. So we're going to definitely take majority of it out there. If I get to that level, we'll see what happens there on CCJ.
Jay saying that's Shop, not a great day after the Evercore downgrade. Completely agree. Evercore downgrading this price target adjustment to 69. So they're actually below the price target. Shop not liking that here. Pounding lows. No bottom in yet for Shop. Good spot there, Jay.
What are out there at 32s to take the profits? It already hit somebody's profit there at 31.97. Let's see if it takes out 32s and hits my profit. 31.96 there on CCJ. It's starting to make that move. There's 31.97. Just need a little bit more. 32s. It's about a penny on the offer there. We'll see if it just starts to hit there. It's definitely slowing up here. I'm just looking for a little bit more. Canceling it for just right now because it's not hitting, and so I cancel it. pull it off and hit right there the 98s. Why not hit the 98s? I don't mind about 2 pennies there. So majority of it off there. Still got about 50 shares from 72s. Now can just let the rest of it work and see if it wants to expand a little bit higher. And whoever mentioned CCJ in the chat earlier, shout out to you too, right? Because you didn't tell me to trade this, but you just looked that you like the setup. I like the setup already, so it just put me on alert. So shout out to you, Daniel, in the chat. That's what it's all about, man. Helping each other out. That's what we're about here. And look at MRO, guys. MRO to 2460s. So this trade looking really well for me in the Moo account today. Up about 1390s. If we can get to 20s, I don't mind taking the profits. And we just might do it today, guys. 598. We finally might break the 600 wall that I've been fighting with for a while in the small account. And you're always going to run into a wall. The only question is, can you keep your risk management enough to keep fighting through that wall? That's what matters the most.
That graph looks like you're long the entire account based on that blue bar.
You see this? You see this graph? You see how it's up and down? I've been
No, I'm
battling,
talking about
team.
the meter at the top there.
The meter. Yeah, the meter's the meter's saying all stocks, baby, no cash. That's what that's saying there. CCJ, let's take 32s and let's go higher. 3204s now. I'm still looking for that X pullback. Haven't gotten it to the VWAP. That's 2480s, but it could just take 25 here and just go higher. Nucor is one to keep an eye out for. That's already making a move. Steel Dynamics starting to push higher. I like the outlook there in steel today. What about Cleveland Cliff? When's the last time we played Cleveland Cliff? That looks good there. Man, I'm going all steel today, baby. All steel. Let's go.
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what we can get today. Will Cleveland Cliff give me a little bit of a pullback to the VWAP? I'm looking for it, team. What you guys got out there? Where's the small cap land?
I'm trying to get it in here, Mitch. I'm trying to get it in here. Smoke Tuna
so
is
much,
shouting
man.
them all. RX, big move. BTAI, big move. So these were moves that I hadn't caught these, but these are coming back up here. BTAI looks like we're going right back into that consolidation zone. RX, Smoke Tuna looks like you were hitting this one as well. This was a drop right out of the open, pretty much down to yesterday's bounce spot, and then we bounced again here. This is shooting like it's going for 14. Also, Vuzi recrossing 6, so this is pretty good. Still long this from 6. I got a high print here of 606. We'll see if that takes off the top here on Vuzi. That's what's going on in small cap land right now. Smoke Tuna continually calling RX. I don't see a new entry set up here. Smoke Tuna, if you have it, let us know what it is. I know that the stock is moving here, but I don't see any new entry short of pulling back to VWAP. Vuzi up to that 606 spot. Let's see if we take that out.
Hourly support around 1350. So you got to cut through today, and then it held that 1334, 1340 area. So that's kind of pullback area that I'd be looking at. Where's that sets up? Right on the 5-minute VWAP. I have the 5-minute VWAP at 1335. I'd be looking for pullbacks below 1350s into the 1335. That's kind of the setup there. That's the only thing that I could see there. All right, we got CCJ now at 3210s and going higher. I'm just going to let that try to work a little bit higher. If it can get there to 3250s, I'll take it all out, get a little expansion win. We'll see. All right, let's go to X. X not pulling back there. I'm looking at Cleveland Cliff to see if I can get an 87 entry or an 88 entry. Would look good there for Cleveland Cliff. What's about going on in the Qs here? We're trying to recover that 380.50 level. I talked about how that could be the level for the recovery today. And I drew that before we got this huge wick to the downside of the 380s. Now we're trying to come back there towards the VWAP. We'll see what happens. I say keep your eyes on big boys like NVIDIA. If they start coming back, Apple starts coming back, those are the names that could get this market higher. Google was a little bit stronger earlier, so let's see if Google can come back. Right now, the big boys, they ain't coming back right now, and that's going to keep us dragging at least in the Qs. But the SPY overall can keep pushing with energy going higher, XOM pushing strong, MRO up there to 2460s, and of course, I got that in the Moo account, just grinding higher on a swing. We'll see what happens. Daniel said, watch for the gap fill on CCJ. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's look for that gap fill. Where's the gap fill to? Where do you see the gap fill? Yeah, what gap are we talking about here? I could see it going up at least to this 3250 area or 3240s area. So that's why I'm letting it grind higher above this 32. That was a nice little buy for me there. All right, let's keep going. Let's look at X. There's steel going a little bit higher already in the 25s. I might have to jump in Cleveland Cliff here for the 17 break here if I want to just jump up and grab it already. If I do jump up there, I have to risk off the 90s right there. That's about 6-cent risk. If I do this one, it'll be kind of more of a scalp type of play.
NASDAQ bouncing here. SQQQ coming back into VWAP. Vuzi still trying to go higher here.
Let's see. Is this a 25? Yeah, I see the move to 1725 set up here for Cleveland Cliff pretty well. I'm going to look for like a 1694 or 1693 pullback right now. But other than that, I won't get in. Let's put the 93s out there and see if I can get the pullback fill. Ooh, as soon as I put it out there, that thing jumped up. I was like, nope, not going to get you on the bid. All right, we'll see what else is going on out there, team. What are you guys taking a look at? The BTAI Ripper. All right, so BTAI tells me to do what? Tells me to look at AI for potential rip today. I was already taking a look at it. That's already starting to push here. Big level for it is above is 40. So maybe a pullback here to 38.50s seems to make sense, maybe slightly below. I'm going to look for that pullback here in AI to see if I can get that pullback right back towards like 39.30s, 39.40s, maybe even 39.25 pullback here. But it could risk off of right there, 39.06, and see if it goes higher today. Cleveland Cliff, no fill on that pullback, and there's 17 already, guys. So I'm not going to probably be able to get that Cleveland Cliff. It happens. Can't be mad about that, right? I'll tell you one thing, CCJ up there to 32.20, so that's not looking too bad.
ICAD going here. This is about time. About time. So ICAD, I am long this from, I'm looking to close this today. ICAD, my average 131. Here we are spiking on ICAD. Nice little move here. Been waiting for this one.
All right, got a nice little $100 cushion today. Let's keep battling, team. Looking for any pullbacks to VWAP, but I'm not really seeing much out there. Valley taking off there. I talked about that one. That one's already up there to 14.18. So I like that one with CCJ. You could also take a look at like MP doing well. SGML looks good there. That one doesn't look too bad here. It is pulling back.
ICAD pulling back here.
I like SGML. Only thing is the spread's about 10 cents wide there on SGML. So keep that in mind.
I'm going to set a stop here on ICAD for 100% gain on the equity. I just want to see if it bounces and goes for 3 here, because I agree with Crow. This probably does go 3. But a big stick here, I could see a pullback. All right, stop out at 264 on ICAD. So I'm going to, in a worst case scenario, I'm booking 100% gains on that equity trade.
All right, looking around, team. What are you guys taking a look at? Big volume on Nicola. Are they pushing down another truck? What happened there?
I haven't seen one. Have you seen any yet?
No, I've never seen one in the wild.
I was going to say Kava IPO still higher this morning, up another, I think.
Kava. I brought that up in pre-market prep. I kind of like it with the raise and Chipotle.
And
Do
it
you
looks
think-
like it's done a nice, if you look at this chart here, it looks like it's kind of come in. We're kind of trading sideways here. I would like for a curl and the next move to be higher here on Kava. I'm sorry, Nick. What did you have?
I was going to say, is Kava going to be, do you think eventually Kava is going to outperform Chipotle? That is what some research firms argue, that Kava is the new Chipotle.
No, I think anytime that you're going to get a new hot restaurant, the comp's going to be Chipotle because the stock performance has just been so phenomenal. Do I actually think this is going to overtake or behave like Chipotle? No. ICAD moving higher here. New highs on ICAD 288.
All right, we are just riding higher here, looking good now. And of course, Marathon Oil up almost $15 now towards 24.63s, 24.65s. Might just take this gain and run here, as this is just a big rip up in oil. But can I get it up there towards the next resistance? Resistance is 24.70, and then from there we can keep going higher. But I think we're going to run until kind of 24.80s resistance. So it can get to 25s and 25.25 today, but I might take some gain out at 25.02 and then look for it to keep going. The fun part about this one is that it's not going to cost me the day trade, right? That's what it's about. Let's go.
ICAD 292 high. I'm with you here, Crow.
Little swing trade action on
And
MRO.
ICAD, okay. So 100% gain on ICAD. I'll take it.
Oh,
Decent trade there.
take
Let's go,
that money.
folks.
I don't know. I saw the restaurant. Didn't seem too exciting to me. But that's just me.
If you guys can throw up a chart of Warner Music Group, ticker WMG, there's some news regarding that they have partnered with TikTok, that they have announced first of its kind expanded agreement. Deal will expand level of partnership, collaboration, and innovation between two companies. Warner Music Group says the companies have agreed to a licensing deal for TikTok music. Deal will see joint development of additional and alternative economic models. That news can be found on Benzinga Pro, the platform that we're using to bring you charts, and analysis, and everything you need.
Scans, trading opportunities, QBTS through 3 here. Watch this pop on QBTS. If it goes, nope, they're pulling it back.
All I got to say is money, 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 money. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Swing trades is looking good, man. I got all 5 positions in the green. Deere leading the way. LAC with a big push today. That's looking great, guys. I talked about that earlier today. LAC, look, just got an alert there even for my trend line as this goes higher. This is the daily outlook. Look at the 5-minute. Nice push there. No pullback either. That's what I want to see there. LAC going higher. MP's another one that's kind of leading the way. PLL I mentioned. Look at all 3 of those names higher. And that's why we were looking at, of course, metals and minerals today. Shout out to your boy, Money Mitch. You know where you're at. SPWR, Wally. Solar game.
Yeah, can you check on that? I'm still looking around.
Yeah, I got
here.
you. I got you, my friend. Solar game is in the green. Why solar game in the green, but technology is in the red? Well, because you got to know the industries, baby. And why is solar going to be up when technology is getting the pullback? Well, the reason why is that is because oil is up. For some reason, solar is highly correlated with energy overall, right? And so when oil starts to get that uplift, well, you start to see the first solar start to make that up move. EMPH looking good. SPWR, look at that little move to 12.11. I like MaxN today. That was my top pick, going towards the next kind of daily move higher into the 28s. And look, it's already into 28.42. Talked about that where? On pre-market prep, of course. You guys got to check it out if you haven't done so in the past.
QBTS, another potential move through 3 here on QBTS. Let's see. Coming back up to 3. Let's see if it pops 3 out here. Really got to pop it to kind of move higher. Long from 296 here on QBTS. We'll take this off if we pop higher. Come on. It's got to be stronger the second time through, right?
Gots to be.
They're printing some at 3.
All right. I'm looking for pullbacks, man. There is no such thing as pullbacks right now, at least for the stocks that I'm looking at.
Hey, guys, I just want to say if we can throw up banks, Bank of America, Schwab, Synchrony Financial. I've been listening into the conference calls, gathering some highlights. And so Vital Knowledge's Adam Crisafulli literally just put a note out a little bit ago, basically reiterating and summing up what they're talking about on the call. Bank of America says that
QBTS through 3. Sorry to interrupt, Nick. Closing trade here. All right, QBTS. Let's go. Hit another one. Nick, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say Bank of America says Q3 and Q4 NII would come in a bit better than anticipated. Q3 about flat. That's the latest example of the biggest money center banks, including Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. Basically, they're flexing their deposit pricing power. Bank of America says that they're seeing some stepped up deposit pricing pressure. Schwab guided down 7 to 8%. We talked about that earlier with NIM expanding into the 210s by Q4. And Synchrony's, these are earnings we didn't touch on, but what Synchrony says that their macro commentary is boringly consistent with the last earnings call. That's what Vital Knowledge writes, and they basically say that average transaction frequency continued to grow in the quarter. Well, they declined a little bit, but we don't really read too much into Synchrony. We basically focus on the big banks, but eventually we're going to have to focus on regional banks. With
what's the ticker for Synchrony again?
SYF. We're going to have to really focus on the regional banks just because of First Republic, SVB and the Fed and how that plays into their hands, because we're still trying to play a blame game on who was to blame for a First Republic Bank and an SVB collapse.
That is true there. I'm about to just take the profits and run here in CCJ, and that's just a really nice day trade there for me here as it gets up there to 32.40s. I see it could get to 32.50s and maybe even 33s today, but this is a really nice little gain on the 50 shares remaining. And I want to take a look for some pullback action in a little bit, but it's been a really nice day there. Now to 38s, 40s on the offer. It didn't hit the 40s there. Looking for a little bit of a push here. We can get to 40, 41. I don't mind taking it off. Come on. Couple more pennies here. It's pulling back a little bit. I'm just going to take the money off there. Nice little trade there on CCJ, about 90 bucks in the prop. Also took some profit here in the Moo account, so definitely want to go ahead and hit the what? The Moo, of course. And oh man, my stream deck went crazy with what happened earlier.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know, man. This is what happens when you have a cat, man. This is what that is.
I mean, I have one too, but I didn't have computer problems. I was just scared for my bird's life.
Yeah, you know how it is. Moo, baby, and a winner, winner, winner. Oh my God, I gotta change up all of them again. That's just frustrating. Yeah, my stream deck is just crapping out on me today, guys. But hey, that's life. Winner, winner. There you go. I took some money off there. I took already about like 10 bucks. And what does this do for me? It breaks the 600, baby. You know what I'm talking about. On Moo, been battling, sent 500 in the small account challenge. You guys know what that means. Not looking too bad overall, guys. Now about 16.75 return. Not looking too bad there. We'll see if we can get towards the 20%. That's the next goal here. And 700, right? Now you get into 600. Now to push it to 700, not doing too bad there. And battling, right? Because this is a really small account. And look forward. We might actually expand these, but shh. I'll tell you guys about that coming up. Like always, you guys can definitely take a look at Moo and all their analytics that they have to offer for you. QR code right on the screen or hit the link right in the chat. Let's keep it going here, team.
BPTS setting up like this might want to curl and pop. That would give us a move back towards the VWAP if this popped. Rigetti back up to the 215 spot as well. That's RGTI Rigetti. There's some size there. I'm not in it, but does look like it wants to take this. We'll see if that materializes on Rigetti.
Man, the oil call was at least a nice one there. So that's at least pushing higher. And at least I talked about that I was flipping on oil, actually going bullish on oil. Nice red day yesterday to get in. Basic materials really pushing today, man. I'm looking for pullbacks now on basic materials. And it's all the sector, all the industries. It's not just one. So you can keep your eyes out on that move. Leading the pack is agricultural inputs, silver and coal. Steel behind that. Then you got gold and chemicals, but all of them in the green from the open.
BPTS, this actually did break out of that formation, Crow. So it looks like this is making a dash towards that VWAP. We'll see if it gets there. Nice trade if it does. No position for me. Still watching Rigetti here. No position in Rigetti either. Waiting to see if we actually get a snap and move. There's definitely some strength in some of these smaller names here today. We'll see if the upside range breaks end up working.
All right, man, the swing trades. Hilton now starting to get nice into the green. I talked about this one in the pre-market. This is a swing that I have on, a nice little pullback to the 9 EMA. Looking for it to take 150s and 153s right back up there. And with Hilton's going higher, we can take a look at Marriott. Look at Marriott taking the lead. This is the leader of the pack in lodging. And then, of course, why not a little bit of Airbnb? I'll do a little dance here because you see this little lag? Let's see if it goes higher. I'm actually going to look to see if I can trade this trade off the 144s. Doesn't look too bad off that 144. We'll see if Airbnb can get right back 145. Let's go. Let's go, team. All right, let's see what else we can get there. But yeah, I like those lodging ones, and that's why I went for the Hilton pullback. I also liked Hyatt on the pullback and Wyndham. That's WH. CCL on pullbacks look great today. That pushed right back up there. Cruise lines, baby. I'm already looking at my next cruise. I'm thinking Carnival this time versus Royal Caribbean. I might change it up a little bit, but I also looked at some Norwegians. So,
well, I was going to say Carnival got an upgrade over to Argus to buy from hold. Basically saying that Argus has the increased marketing spend should increase revenue for the cruise operator. So I say you go with Carnival.
Carnival. There you go. We'll do it, man. We'll get on the Carnival boat. We'll get Shaquille O'Neal.
Are you going to be on the show from the boat? Show from the boat?
Show from the boat? Nah, we need to do the Benzinga cruise. I've been telling my man Jason Raznick that we need to do the trading event on a cruise. And I mean, what analyst, what institutional investor is not going to want to go on a cruise, right? I mean, come on. That's how you get the big boys.
If you say so.
Hell yeah.
Ryan's not convinced, neither nor am I.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many of the big boys, as you call them, are actually going to go on a cruise, but that would be sweet. I mean, a trading event on a cruise boat would be sweet. Don't get it twisted here.
Hey, man, you pay for their cruise and watch how they jump on. All you got to do is you just got to make it like a little bit of fun and work, right? You can't make it all like the whole like time that you're out there, nothing but, but work. But maybe we have like a place that we go to, right? The Bahama Islands.
You mean like a port of call? I don't think any work is going to be done at a port of call. They basically hand you Coronas as soon as you hit dry land.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Come on, man.
Cooler Cigar asking, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right now, and I apologize if I'm not. Please correct me. Calling Cooler. Remember, I'm long this in the small account, looking for a breakthrough one. We're currently at 98.5. So that one break looks like it's coming. That's what I'd be waiting for here in Cooler. Still long in the small account.
eBay, nice move higher today. I mean, in my swing trades, it's looking like, it's looking pretty today. CCJ continuing, guys. That's still just pushing. It never pulled back to the VWAP, so I'm all out of it. It's still pushing 32.48s. Let's see if it keeps going for you guys. That's a nice move there. T-Doc, hope you didn't chase. I actually like this pullback in T-Doc. Ooh.
I was going to say they're partnering or expanding their partnership with Microsoft this morning to use Tech Giant's AI services to automate clinical documentation on the telehealth platform.
I like the pullback to 26 here. I had 2570 written up on pre-market prep as the pullback levels to look for below 26 into that 2570s, and we went to 82s there, so not a bad outlook there. Let me see if I can get the 70s before this starts to come back up. Qs overall, we're right back to 381s. Let's see if we get another takedown though, because we could see another little pullback here, and that's why I'd avoid. I'm not looking for tech upside right now, even though I mean that doesn't really make sense. But at least for the day, I'm not looking for it for the upside. We'll see what happens there. Now we're starting to see that downturn. You could maybe look at SOX S here for the trade to the upside, at least for the day trade. I'm not looking to keep this, but I don't mind maybe taking a little bit of a shot here off the 70s. It's like what, like a 4-cent risk here? Why not? All right, just got a little bit of a pullback here to 74s. I'm going to take the shot here off the 74s, risks off the 68s here for SOX S. Let's see if it can go to the upside here, and the Qs reject the VWAP and come right back down. So 67s, I can even set as a stop just to make sure. I got about 400 shares right now. All right, not even going to watch the trade. Just going to set it and forget it. We'll see what happens there. Looking at AVGO to go lower here, like NVIDIA to come right back down. Apple's the one to kind of keep an eye out for. It's already down there towards 193s and could let go here. So if Apple lets go, I think Microsoft could let go. Google, remember I talked about, that was a little bit stronger. We'll see if it gets to move there. Airbnb now starting to get the lift. That looks good there. Just talked about that. So Airbnb, I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can grab that here off the 144.40 area, but you got to be quick off of this. It could pull back to 144.25 here. So just be careful with Airbnb. It does have a tendency of moving pretty quickly here. I'm going to look to see if I can get a pullback entry fill. That's a pullback towards like 144.25s. Airbnb. Doesn't look too bad there. Well, the Qs go higher here. Take a look at that. We'll see what happens. Nikola on steroids. I mean, yeah, it's definitely getting the squeeze there. We'll see if Ford goes higher today. He's trying to get a little bit of a bounce.
I was just going to say Rigetti took that 215 spot, took it off there, didn't really get much, didn't get the push I wanted. I'm not going to sit around and wait for another stock to snap back on me here. So out Rigetti, pretty much flat, and really only made like $30 on that. That was pretty much nothing. Whoever called Nikola, I can't believe the performance this is having today, especially after yesterday. I mean, Nikola just massively strong here today. What's the prediction? I mean, Cigar, your prediction is as good as ours. I don't think any of us on the desk here like Nikola long term. Clearly moving on technicals, so I mean, I'll trade junk every day if I can get a technical move on it. But no real setup here. This would have been a good ad at the VWAP. Hard to do when I don't trust it though. How about you, Mitch? You don't trust Nikola, or you, Nick?
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
I was going to tell you that.
Absolutely not. Okay, so I'm not alone there.
No.
I
I
can
don't
tell you
trust
at
that.
least.
I don't trust Rivian. I don't trust Lucid. I, mean,
I will
what,
say
Ryan,
that
are you gonna be driving
I don't.
Lucid?
I can't always trade trash. I know you said that statement. I can't always.
Yeah, I mean, I can't always, but I mean, if I see a decent setup on one of these smaller, trashy names, I'll trade it. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
you might even be able to make the case on Rigetti for that.
I would say that definitely Ryan is a little bit braver than I am in that case.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to do something like this, I always reduce. Like, I got hit on mix, like straight up, I got hit on mix. I added a little bit more on a pullback, and then when it took the next leg down, I had to stop out. But you know what? That's part of the game, right? This sure looked like this was going to pop. It did actually pop. I probably should have taken the trade off, but I was wanting more. So what I'm going to do now is just not get too greedy on this. If mix settles here, maybe this is going to be back in play. Really tough for me to trust it, but maybe the sell-off has stopped down here.
All right, just got some volume back in SOX S, so now going to look for a little bit of a takedown there in the Qs and a little bit of a move up in, of course, SOX S and the SQQQs. That's also at VWAP here, so you can also take a look at that if you want to take that type of play.
Buglog saying, Ryan, I trust Highland though, so HYLN here. This one fairly interesting if we can take two out here. I have no position in Hyliion, but half decent setup here, that's for sure.
All right, I like that bottoming action just recently at 1725 on the SQQQ. So that's looking good for you. What I would like to see is now a little bit of an attempt here to like kind of 1727s and then a quick sweep back through the 1730s to the upside. We'll see what happens there in the SQQQs.
No, Paul, I did get out of mix, but I am hoping that it gets better because, I mean, the fact that I took a loss doesn't mean that I want the stock to just plunge into the ground. I mean, if this gives us another setup, the way I look at this, Paul, is that you're going to take losses every day. Or almost every day. Taking losses are part of the business. So here's the thing. If mix gives us a setup again, and I have an opportunity to get some of my money back, then I'll look at that. But I'm not going to revenge trade, right? I'm not going to say, oh, I have to get my money back on this. Instead, I'm going to look at the setups. If mix proves to be the best setup out there, we'll take a look at it, or I will anyway. But there's a lot of other stuff going on here today, and I don't think you need me to tell you that.
Big level to watch here in NVIDIA. We'll see if it rejects 462 and just goes lower. SOX already starting to make the move, and that's the one that I can definitely watch for to see that the SQQQ move also to go higher. This is a big move, right? Like, does it reject and come down into this 458? If that does happen, that could be a nice little trade also if you want to take that shot. I've been trying my best not to short NVIDIA, but just look at it for signals of the market. And Qs right now, we're starting to reject the VWAP. That makes my SOX trade look a lot better. We'll look to see if it does take a little bit of an upside. I'm not looking for too much on this trade. Even like a nice little 10, 15 cent gain, I'll take it there. This is a little bit more of a scalp kind of look there. The SQQQs could go higher, though. That does look good now as it's starting to hold here. Rule of 3 says it shouldn't break the 1725 anymore. And could break through that 1743s kind of push there. That's a nice little, 10 cents higher here. There's a nice little push to the 34s. Let's see if NVIDIA starts to crack here, going through the 460s. And then you can also take a look at Apple leading the way on the downside. That's already looking like it wants to break 193s here and go right back down to 192.80s. Of course, this recently just made a nice little up move. Could pull back to the 9 EMA. We'll see what happens there.
Lynn, nice to see you this morning. Lynn Williams, say hi to Randy for me. Lynn and Randy always trade AI. This is one of their stocks, much like Tesla, where they day trade it all of the time. They're saying higher lows on AI. That's exactly what we're seeing here. Lynn and Randy looking for 41.42 on that day trade. Lynn and Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but these are all short-term trades that you're mentioning, right? You're in and out of this AI. I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly. SQQQ breaking out of that sideways formation. Let's see if that can make a move towards the highs. Take care of yourself, Judge. Great to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well, my man.
All right, stocks are starting to get into the favor there. Going to take a look here at MRO as it's at 2470s. Just took profits at 2468s, but it didn't even cost me my day trade. I'm just trying to see this grind higher, guys. That's of course for the Moo account. Can we keep pushing higher? We'll see what happens here. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see if it just takes out 25 today. Woo! It's a fun trading day for sure. A lot of action. There
has been a lot of action.
I'm a little frustrated. I will not be able to start swing trade later today. I have a little doctor's appointment that I got to get to. And of course, they never want to give you a nice timing. So we'll see what happens there. But man, doing really good right now. Hilton, eBay, doing well. LAC doing well on the day. Deere now up 6.28% there. I mean, that's a big move for Deere. Deere's a little bit of expensive. So if I can get 6% on Deere, I mean, that's a pretty nice trade there.
Yeah, it sure is.
We'll see if that can keep going higher. We're talking now, I'm up, 26 points on Deere? I'll take it.
Real quick, yeah, Lynn confirming they're all short-term trades. Jay saying, on an entertainment note, just finished reading Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a great read, made into an Amazon original. Fantastic so far. You older fans probably like it. I consider myself one of the older ones in the group here, Jay. What is it about? I guess I could look it up. Daisy Jones, unsure, but appreciate the recommendation. By the way, I finished the season 4 of the Jack Ryan series. I know it's not a book, but on Amazon Prime, that is phenomenal. One of the best seasons, in my opinion.
eBay's been pushing. I'm thinking about just taking the cash there. The big thing for me is I want to take a cash on one of my trades. Why? Because a little part of it is I had a loser in PLD today, so I want to take some cash. And eBay, I think it could get to 48, but we're definitely starting to slow down. We filled the gap already, so that's what I wanted to see. This is a gap fill on eBay to the left-hand side here. So it filled this gap here, but it could slow down right at the 48. So I'm looking for another little push, maybe 47.75, 47.80s. Take the money and run. Let's go. Let's go, team. What we here for? What we here for? Let's go. Get that money. All right, what are you guys looking at out there?
I was looking at B-Bio. I traded that yesterday. Should have swung that. We'll see if and actually, let me go back to that real quick. ICAD, so still under where I stopped out of that. I'll take that. Traded that well. What was I just? B-Bio. God, there's so much going on. I can't even keep the ticker straight. B-Bio here. One of the things I'm looking at here on the daily chart is this obviously looks extended, right? Just two vertical candles after a huge gap. We might get to a point where this kind of flags. And if that's the case, there might be another setup here for a potential long side trade.
I'm so happy I've been putting industrials into light because I feel like everyone's just been talking about technology. There's not too many people talking about the industrial trade. The industrial trade has just been awesome, guys. Just like completely like ripping to the upside. Honeywell, Cat, straight up. And when those big names go straight up, I mean, you can make some good money when big names are going up. CCJ now starting to pull back. I'm going to look for a 32 pullback on CCJ. If I could get that 32 pullback, wouldn't be looking too bad. Remember, I looked at top maybe on CCJ like a 32.50 and then a pullback. It's exactly what I got there. So I'm looking for the same move there. If I look at X, similar move there. Now it went to 25 for the rip. Looking for the pullback at 25 to get back in the names. We'll see if I can get back into these names. Success going higher now. Looking good there for me in that trade. Just need a little bit more. And if it could really start to rip, I got 74s. So if it can get through this high, maybe 86 into the 890 area, going to 9, I don't mind taking the profits into that 890 area and just running with the profits there. It's been a good day so far. Let's keep pushing. All right, what is it at? It's 10:30, team. We're going to keep going to 11. We got a little bit more for you guys, and I'm going to keep trying to do my best to stay hot, guys. I'm in the zone. Let's keep it going.
There we go. I'm still trying to figure out the production thing here. By the way, QBTS coming back to the VWAP. Vuzi backing off that 6th spot as well. We'll stop if that breaks 590 on Vuzi.
NVIDIA lower too, and I think that's what we wanted to see. Let's see if the Qs really go back to the 380.10 spot. A recovery of 380.50s is not what I want to see. I want to see a rejection of 380.50s and it going lower there. We'll see what happens. Of course, that's my outlook. Of course, be careful out there, guys, today.
Take care, Lynn and Randy. We'll see you later today.
MRO starting to pull back, and this could pull back pretty big, but I'm just going to stay into the swing trade of things because I've already taken about $10 off this trade. So from here on out, no matter what on MRO, I will not lose, and I want to swing trade a little bit more in the Moo account and be smart with it.
Cooler took that $1 spot that I was hoping for on that small account trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me add this to the stream. Solo layout. Okay, so remember Cooler here. We were in at 97 cents, up about 4 cents here. Would really like to see this run. Again, small account, so reduced position size, only 200 shares, but up a nice $8 here. If we can get above maybe $10, maybe we consider closing this out. Cooler so far, this is working. Maybe even swing this. We'll see what the strength is like here today on Cooler. We get a nice big run. I'll probably close it. If it grinds higher, maybe we'll swing it. We shall see.
All right, keeping an eye on this success.
Mix. I'm disappointed in this too, Cigar. I did not a good trade here, but looking at this now, I mean, I think maybe if we can clear out 198, probably test 2, and if we take 2 out, maybe we bounce back towards this VWAP. We shall see.
All right, BBIO continuing, man. I'm so upset I didn't get that yesterday, man.
Me too.
I had such a really nice entry outlook at 28. I just froze up there a little bit.
I had a decent scalp on it yesterday, but obviously looking at it today, the scalp looks pitiful compared to maybe swinging it overnight.
Yeah, I like that 28, and then I would have risked off at like 27.20s. It would have been a fucking killer trade. But Nicola going higher there, of course, small cap, and Jay pointing out IWM up so big, and that's definitely helping it. Q's pulling back, right? This is kind of the flavor of the day, is looking at smaller cap names here, and that's doing well. CPS doing well. HRTX. There's a couple names here. Microvast Holdings is doing well. What about MVIS? That was one that I wanted to keep an eye out.
That was
on.
a Dave special, right? Dave was trading Mevis. I wonder what
It's
ended
not
up
moving
happening
much.
with that.
It's not moving much. I don't like this. I don't mind this sideways consolidation on the daily, but it needs to make a move back towards 450s and 470s. It could just do a quick whip move. So I'll look to see if it does make that move, but I don't know about this, guys. All right, success here now towards 83s, 84s. Can I get there towards 890s there? If I can get just this last little push here into the 85s, 86, I don't mind just taking the money and running on this little scalp type of trade here. And that was for also NVIDIA to go lower. That was for the Qs to go lower. And you see the Qs trying to recover there. That's what I don't like to see there. And if the Qs recover 380, 50s here, it could be a quick move. So just be careful out there, team. Just want to see a little bit more push here into the 85s. Sucks. Q's trying to recover a little bit here, and I'm not going to let them recover, so just be careful out there. Let's see if we're just quick to the green here. Definitely in sideways consolidation. It could see the Q's recover. All right, let's go ahead. Let's put that down here. Ryan's still there, guys. He just took a moment. We'll see what else is going on.
I was going to say, Mitch, it's very interesting to see what kind of stats we have today, because I'm always intrigued and like the market stacks. And, I do tweet those often. Mm-hmm. We have the Dow Transports hitting a new 52-week high back to April 1st of 2022. We have the S&P Regional Bank KRE. It's having its best day since June 7th. And we have the S&P 500 Banks Index hits over a 4-month high, in part because we have bank earnings. But it's going to be very interesting to see not only how we close today, but how we close this rest of the week, given we have Tesla, we have IBM, we have a lot of S&P and Dow components. And then you have to say, well, let's say if IBM reports and they do great, then the IBM sector that they're in may give that a lift. And so I don't know if we can call it, we're going to have to watch for a broad-based rally. But at some point, you just can't have the same stocks going up and up and up like NVIDIA, 400% in a year. You're going to have to get some rotation eventually.
Yeah, and I think the key there is, where do things rotate to, right? What could get hot for the rest of the year? So areas I'm looking at energy, I'm looking at basic materials and industrials. Those are the areas that I would be looking for to see some rotation go to. Healthcare is the area that I would see lag a little bit, because remember, those are growth at reasonable values. So I like industrials to get a little bit higher, maybe utilities to climb a little bit. Defensive is not the area that I would want to be in. Real estate could go a little bit higher because of a lot of construction going on there. But I do like energy maybe to get the lift, and that's probably going to be the strongest sector. Of course, industrials have already taken off, so that's a little bit hard to look for now. Q's trying to make a move back here. I'm going to give it to 878s, but I'm not going to let it cut through 878s there. No matter what, I'll stay in the green here for this trade.
Sorry, Mitch. Let me bring your screen up because you weren't on for that. I had my screen up still.
You're good, my friend.
So are you watching an exit right now on this?
I'm watching the combination, right? I'm watching the Qs down on this chart, and I'm watching the success above me to kind of keep watch of that. And what I'm doing here is I'm just setting a trailing stop here, right? Trailing it up on the action so I can let it keep moving, but no matter what, stay into the green. This is something that I've been trying to do a little bit more of in my day trading. In my swing trading, I have a tendency of letting things work a little bit more, and that works for me. My day trading, I've been seeing that that's not working for me. So I want to go ahead and do a little bit more trailing of when I'm in the green to make sure I'm keeping green. This is going to go ahead and bring my accuracy up percentage, but also bring down my profit to loss ratio. So I got to keep that in mind also. There's a lot of things that affect when you start going faster to the profits. Always keep that in mind. Let's go. Let's see what else we can get into. It's 10:38, guys. It's been a hell of a good day for us here. You guys smash the like out there if you guys are enjoying the trading action.
Cooler 105. Great call, Wally. Wally's looking out here. Wally's looking out here. Cooler is moving here. So this is exactly what we want to see. Let's take a look at the position here. I always have to remind, we're up $14. So Mitch, I'm going to throw this to you. I'm going to throw this to both of us, just kind of for a discussion.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about risk reward. We talk a lot about managing your risk. We talk a lot about how you have to do this a little bit differently when you have a small account versus a regular account. And one of the things that I tried to do from the beginning was when we first started the small account, I really wanted to make sure that I didn't try to trade it like my main account because I was just going to get myself in trouble. So one of the things that I had to do is I have to accept positions that are not moving as much as I hope, right? So like in the case of Cooler here, I'm up $20. In my regular account, I would consider this a trade for flat. But in a smaller account, this is a pretty decent percentage. We're actually up 10% here. So the thing that I'm wondering is that the thesis that I had here was for a move through one. Well, we got to move through one and we're spiking now. So is it okay to close this? Is it okay? Is that considered a good trade given the size of this account? I kind of think so.
You know, what I think is just establishing something that you think you can have repeatable results in, right? And so what I mean is if you're going to be taking profits at 20, what's the losses on the account, right? And I think that that's the important thing also, right? Think about that in the future. And it doesn't even need to be the losses you already had. It could also just be like what you're going to hold to from here on out. If $20 would be the profits, what would you probably risk on a trade moving forward, Brian?
We talked about that. We talked about that first. When you were talking about your risk to reward ratio, you were saying after I made a couple of bad trades in a row, one of the discussions that we had, Cooler going up to 110 here, by the way, one of the discussions that I had with you was, you know, you got to keep the losses small so that you can let those profits grow a little bit. And one of the targets that you had, and they're really rang true to me, you kind of want to hold losses to between $5 and $10. That way, if you take a bunch of them in a row, you're probably not in trouble because you're not going to blow the account up. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe a $10 loss is probably all I'd hold through. Well, now I'm looking at $24 in gain. This is over 1-to-1 risk to reward. The other thing about your repeatable process, I'm really glad that you touched on that. One of my thesis here was this looks strong in the pre-market. We're going to move through one. We expect to see a pop. Well, guess what? Every one of those items off those checklists has happened now.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't have hundreds of dollars in gain, but the process that I was outlining ended up working. So do we take this off here?
That's going to be your call, my friend. Like always, that's what we try to leave it to. And I think you're going to make your call, right? And that's what it's all about. And I think that always just consider the action that you're looking to repeat, right? Because with the small account, we can't let one trade make us or break us. Just think about it on both sides. And I think that helps me not only on the risk side about breaking me, but also making me. I don't want to try to make myself on one trade. That's not going to show anything, right? Why? Because if I make myself on one trade, even if I nail that trade to the top it can be, what happens to the next trade? And the one after that one? If I keep playing hero, we know what usually ends up happening, right? And so I think that it's okay to take big gains and it's okay to maybe expand one, like on MRO right now, right? I could take 16, Ryan, and I could just run to that cash. But I'm trying to see it push above that 20 and then maybe take the profits, right? And one thing that I helped with was, since it was a swing trade, that helped me in being able to take some of the profits off and just keep working it. I haven't even used one of my day trades. Snipes are important, right? get your size with a small loss, and just take what you can get sometimes, and realize that we can't let both sides of that action happen.
All right.
We can't get
Well,
too greedy, and we can't get too risky.
guess what? As we were talking, this order is completed. Sold at 108 here on Cooler. This trade is booked. So we did an 11-cent move here on 200 shares. That's what, $22. So not bad in the small account. We are all out here. Used up one of the day trades. Still have 2 more to use. You can see here we're doing pretty good. If we, Mitch, I'm coming for that 600 level. We are only $11.20 away from that level.
Oh, Ryan
Let's
trying to
get
catch up to
going.
me. Catch up to me, baby. Catch up. Love to see it. Bow, 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 bow.
Oh, you know what? Sorry. Was not pending. Was not that I misread my
no
broker.
fill.
I misread my broker. I did not get filled yet, folks. This sale order is still pending. We're actually 1 cent beneath that sell level. I'll let you know if it gets filled. Sorry, I got excited there. It played the sound that my TD Ameritrade plays, so I thought it was filled, but it's just pending.
No, yeah, that's the order. That's the order going out there. It has a sound for order going out, and that's probably what you heard immediately.
My mistake there.
We'll see if it gets hit right now. So it's just a cent or two off of that, right? Doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens there, guys. If it hits there, we'll let you guys know. Putting you in the background there, and let's keep it going. At least that chart. All right, guys, smash the like out there, guys. It's about 10:45 here. We're going to start wrapping up here in just a second here as things are starting to slow down. And when they continue battling on the day, it's been a good one. X, one of my best trades today and continuing to go. We'll see if that keeps pushing higher. That's at 25.11s now. And it hasn't been a bad one there. Just got out there in success just to kind of let you guys know. Didn't want to let it pull back here towards my entry. So now it's pulling back towards my entry. So I take a little small gain there. I'll take the small gain and keep pushing up about 144 in the prop. Just got to keep pushing today. We'll see what happens. Hasn't been a bad one. Oil now kind of going sideways. I'll see if MRO can continue the consolidation up here and just keep going higher. That one's looking really great. I'm looking for an LAC pullback into the 2140s to 2135s and maybe jump in on that one. But LAC doing well today also.
Cooler coming back in here down to 103. So definitely got too excited. Rigetti here moving higher. You can see this is kind of a grinding, right? It moves higher, it pulls, it moves higher. It's likely going to pull. Awesome job there on Rigetti. Looks like Moore's line hit that. By the way, I think it was Sager. Sager hitting Cooler there. There you go. Awesome job. You actually got filled. I'm going to wait and see if this comes back up since I'm in the green. I'm not going to chase a fill on the way down. Now I have my bird enticing my cat yet again. Boy, I'll be glad when I got less things to look at here. I'll be able to relax a little bit. Rigetti 220 now.
Yeah, they try to get you. They try to get you. Max N, I'm looking to see if that can come back up through the 28s. That doesn't look too bad to maybe catch a little bit of a dip here at 2770. Maybe get a little bit of a bounce right back to the upside. Run was doing well earlier, right? That's pulled back here to 2280s. Will that get the bounce right back to the upside towards 23s? Of course, you are seeing solar pull back today, so we could see maybe an inside candle today, and it maybe not take out the highs there at 2350. So just be careful there, right? There's nothing wrong with an inside candle after a really strong day. And I see that also an opportunity there on First Solar. The Qs are going to be battling right now, and I think that that's what you got to keep an eye out for. Does it take the upside move? If it does take the upside move, that could keep the SPY higher and just continuing to lift 452s now. And it's looking like we're not going to pull back into SPY. Why? Because we're being carried by the rest of the industries. Financial services also doing really well today. JPM, Goldman Sachs, looks like it's already taken off here. And if they have a good report, maybe this could be right back to the upside after getting hit on the JPM report. All right, what else we got going on out there, team? What do you guys got? It's been one of those days where a lot of action's been going on. I've seen so many names mentioned in the chat, and that's what it's all about here. We take a look at the smaller names, the middle names, the large names, any cap. We don't worry about it. What we do is what? Worry about the trade. Worry about the process, the approach. That's what's going to keep us in the money, baby. Mitch, thanks for that Airbnb trade. Made $50. Hey, you chose the profits, baby. You chose the exit. You chose the entrance. Give yourself a pat on the back, my man Z Forte, as I was just calling out levels and you were able to nail it down. But yeah, I'd like that Airbnb one off of that 144 when it was just right here. And I said 144.25 kind of pullback. It did give me that pullback. I just never looked at it when it did it. And look at that move right back towards 145.40s. That makes me feel good about the Hilton. We'll see if that can come right back up through 150s and kind of hold this pullback. Marriott is another one. Hyatt could be something I could look at on the pullback on VWAP. And then Wyndham Resorts. Will this one get a little bit higher? This one does not look too bad on the daily. I like this little setup. I like how it's bunching here. I like how it pulled back a little bit today around the 74s. And now it can just start going up through the 76. Doesn't look too bad there. Looks like T-Duck has completed retracement. Let's take a look at that. I was looking at that area here around 2570, 2560s here. So it doesn't look too bad. We just need a little bit of a bounce here off the 2550s and for it to come right back off. And it's had a little sideways consolidation here. I don't mind that one at all, guys. Of course, I did have good news that pulled back here. This is kind of just taking a look at the hourly pullback and seeing if it's going to go right back to the upside. The upside outlook could be 27. So that's why I kind of like this one, because we're talking about $1.40 up, and maybe I'm risking about 20 cents here. Doesn't look too bad there. I like the pullback action. All right, let's keep it going here. Boom, boom. MRO still doing well there. Of course, Moo going to try to keep riding that higher. Kind of like that T-Duck. Want to take a little bit of a trade here off of that. All right, just grabbed a little bit there at 61s. Going to go ahead and risk off the bottom there towards like 25.45. So risk about what, 16 cents or something like that?
Mix is trying to curl here. Still don't trust it. Carvana breaking to new highs. Maybe we've got a squeeze going on Carvana. No position for me, by the way. But Carvana moving higher here.
Carvana looks good. We'll see what happens on Carvana. Carvana, if that goes higher, I also like Affirm to recover VWAP. And I've been looking at those stocks kind of hand in hand. Upstart's another one. They look very similar, right? And I think that that's one thing to keep an eye out for. I look at these all hand in hand. The relationships look good there. So if Carvana can maybe make the move, maybe a recovery here on Upstart about the 540s, risk like maybe 53.50s or 53.40s right now. Doesn't look too bad on Upstart.
That's a really good call, Mitch. Last week we had the high beta squawker called out action in Carvana, or excuse me, noticed action in Carvana, and took a look at Beyond Meat, because Beyond Meat had been trading when Carvana had popped due to the relatively similar high short interest. So what happened was he called that there was a little bit of movement in BYMD and nothing really materialized. And a couple of listeners were like, well, what was going on there? And he explained that it was moving with Carvana. And then later on that same day, Beyond Meat popped and had the same type of effect as Carvana. So you're absolutely right. Those short interest names absolutely move together in some cases.
Yeah, and I keep them on my radar for that, right? And a lot of times I'll look for one to take the lead. Lead today, I'd say it has to be Carvana, right? And then why is that the lead? Because when you go to the chart, where is it trading compared to the other names? It's trading on the top side, right? High of the day on Carvana, yet you have Affirm below VWAP and you have Upstart below VWAP. That tells me that that's the leader and these are the laggards. Imposter Money Mitch was in Beyond Meat. He pumped it. Yeah, I know, man. I heard about that imposter. Crow, man. I don't know what to do, man.
Are you sure you're not the imposter, Money Mitch? That's the question. I don't know who the real Money Mitch is.
The eyes out there, they could get you. The deep fake. Upstart not looking too bad here. Now already there to 54.17. I gave that trade outlook. It's already up about 30 cents. We'll look to see if Upstart gets that nice little run. Affirm also up to 1750s. Looking good there for a nice little push back towards 1770s. And these look hot, man. There's Upstart up to 54.18s. Now we're talking what? Almost 40 cents higher. Now right back towards the VWAP. Let's see if Carvana makes a new high here. So if Carvana can make one more little push towards 41, I think you can get that nice little uplift here in Upstart through that VWAP. We'll see if it does get the lift or not. Here's one that's trading today that's I have to mention it, but I have to mention it with a lot of warning. SOS. This one's trading a little bit higher. It's not liquid, but it's showing up on my radar here, guys. Be careful out there. Look to see if the Qs recover. If the Qs recover, that could help that trade out, that Upstart trade, and the Qs are pulling back a little bit here. T-Doc kind of holding that recent pullback to 46 and 50s. So now I don't want to see it kind of break that 45, anything below 45s, and I could get out. I have a stop set there at 42s.
Cooler coming back in a little bit. Really disappointed that I didn't actually get filled there, but that's okay.
Hey, it happens, man. And I think that one of the things is just more like always, right? To know where our out's going to be. Know where our out's gonna be.
It's just my unfamiliarity with Mumu got me, and that's nobody's fault but my own, right?
Yeah,
that's
that's
nobody's fault but my own.
Search for perfection in execution. I heard a trader say this, and I gotta get his name next time. But I was watching this little futures interview, and futures teacher said that he has a picture in his wall, and he says, "I don't search for perfection in my process. I search for perfection in my execution." That is fire. I like that one. All right, all out there on T-Doc. It came down to that spot. It could hold 25.40s here and recover, but I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to catch the falling knife. When I do reversals, I keep them really tight. It either goes or it doesn't. In this case, it doesn't. I gave up some of my gains today, and I'm going to keep the rest. That's it. I'm done for the day, guys. It was a really good day for me.
PWM continuing to run. I think there were a couple of chatters that got that. Looks like Moores and Crow are on that. PWM moving back up there. Mix too, so maybe this is recovering here.
Q's pulling back here. I was going to say S&P 500 reached a fresh 2023 intraday high, 45.35-ish. So we'll see if we can close above those levels. But it's very interesting to see that the support level that everybody's talking about is 45.05. Tom Lee cited that, but it's going to be interesting to see how long the S&P can save above 4,500, or if we get to 4,800 by year end.
Mix popping here. Good spot, Crow. I'm a little nervous to try this myself, but you were all over this. Dave, been in PWM since yesterday. Well, that is going to be a good trade then, Dave. Great stuff.
Things starting to slow down there, and I could see some tech names maybe getting a little bit of a pickup soon. We'll see what happens on that if we start to get a pickup there. But it's 10:57, and that's going to do it for us today, guys. I've had a really nice day. Really good trades in X, CCJ, SOX S. T-Doc was our loss on the day. Not too bad, and going to continue pushing forward. What about you, Ryan? Wrap up the day here and we'll get on out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in this SQQQ trade. It looks like the market's trying to move higher here, so we'll see if that ends up materializing. As far as a stop on that, we had just talked about having a plan for either direction. Mitch, stop on that would be a move below 17. I'll wait for another setup on that SQQQ, but maybe we do have kind of a weak afternoon and this trades away. Otherwise, probably done with some of the smaller names. Obviously, with the small account trade, I'm still going to watch Cooler. I'm not going to really let it go against me all that much, but if I have to hold this overnight, I will.
All right. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Even the Honey Bunny. I haven't seen the Honey Bunny here before. So shout out to you out there. And then Paul C, have a good one, man. I see you out in the chat like always. Carmen, it's always good to see you out there. Look at that. Even throwing some swing trade ideas.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I love to see, guys, because the truth is that we can wave flags for other traders and let them make investment decisions for themselves, right? I think that's so important, right? Like, we need to be given trade ideas, but the right ways, right? And you see here, like looking at why she's going about it. She's not just saying, oh, I'm going to go swing trade DAL right here. No, she's giving you a little bit more, bought into each on huge drops, no reason each shouldn't recover, and looking for reasonings why, right? Trade ideas need to come with what I call a theory almost, right? What are you seeing? What is the things you're looking at? Why you're going to go ahead and trade that, and let other investors decide if they want to take their shot on it. Sydney talking about Picard. I'm sure Picard just mooning today. I mean, look at that daily chart. Like, I mean, things like this, we want to be catch the industry movement, catch what's going hot now, right? Energy, basic materials, industrials, as of late have been really hot. Take a look at this daily chart for industrials. Look how hot this has been since June. Look at basic materials start to take off. These are all things I want to keep my eyes on. Energy starting to kind of push. Keep your eyes on those. I always want to know where the sectors and industries are rotating. That's going to do it for us today. I hope you guys had a great one. Nick Brown, like always, dropping bombs throughout the chat, and he's going to keep doing it for us. So, like always, if you guys have, let's say, news catalysts you guys want to check up on, or maybe something came out and you don't truly understand it, you want Nick to do a little research so that he can explain it for you. That's what he's all about. News by Nick. Give him a nice follow. And of course, our Faloona, Money Mitch BZ. That's going to do it for us here on Live Trading with Benzinga. We're always here to teach you guys a processed approach. Like always, we're not here for investment advice. You guys smash the like. We'll be here back tomorrow. Keep it going. The one, the only Benzinga, of course. Have a good one, Ryan. We'll see you next time. I'll get Nick out of here. I'll get Ryan out of here, and then we'll be already wrapping up, team. But like always, smash the like before you get out of here. And check out Moomoo, our sponsor, of course. We're going to keep pushing, and we'll see what happens on that MRO swing trade. I'm going to keep pushing on that one. And till next time, team, smash the like out there, team, and we'll see you right here on Live Trading with Benzinga. No start swing trade today. So up next, you do got Benzinga Live, though. Don't go anywhere. AB will be on in just a few minutes, so stick around, team.